kitchen ballet. So this is my fourth video, and I am getting ready to do my own workout this morning. It's been, a long weekend. So it's Monday, and I need some coffee, and I thought, while I'm waiting for my coffee maker to warm up, why don't we talk about releve and eleve? So the last few videos we've been lining up, right? And this is especially if you have never taken ballet, or if you have trained in ballet and it's been a while, or even, when I was dancing professionally for a lot of years, doing all those big roles, which were amazing, there were times where I had to definitely get back to my basics. How am I pliéing here? Why isn't this working? How am I doing this releve? Right, releve and eleve are really important in ballet technique. I mean, everything is to me, but think about it. When you see someone dancing on stage in ballet and they are going up to their toes, either on point, or the men going to demi-point, or in contemporary dance going up to a demi-point position, there's no way you can balance if you are not going up on the lower part of your leg properly, at least to start, right? Of course, we have to hold it after that. And that's where our core and our lining up comes in. And I talked about lining up, right, in a really basic way, but really it carries over into everything. So let's talk about releve. And so when we come up, we learned plié last class. And that was where, remember, we line up. We always start by lining up our abdominals, pulling our belly button in. I engage my muscles. I feel them working, because I can stand here without any muscles being engaged. Try it right now. Stand up and have no muscles in your abdominals engaged. And you can still stand up. But when we pull that belly button in, we start to elongate the spine. I start to feel my glutes engaged, and that might be muscle memory, but why don't you try that too? And then we talked last week about the plié, where we went down and up. And when we came up, we can squeeze our glutes and hamstrings and our inner thighs together, because we don't want the legs going all over, right? We want to have a lined up plié and up. We also talked about weight over the big toe, and that our heels come down gently. We don't rock on them. We don't rock onto the pinky toes. We keep our weight over the balls of the feet, first and second toe, somewhere in there, right? And we shape our feet. I like to talk about shaping our feet when we go up to our demi-point, releve or eleve. Now, the difference between a releve and an eleve is the use of the plié. So in a releve, we plié and down, and then we rise up on our demi-points, and that is a releve. In an eleve, we rise up without the plié. So we shift our weight, making sure it's over the balls of the feet, and we pull up to that eleve. So that's the difference. And you can think about eleve as elevation, maybe, to know what's a releve, what's an eleve. So what I want to show you today is just how that works. And then I'm also going to add on, talking about shaping the foot from the ground up. So I'm going to step back so you can see me. Hopefully you can still hear me. Now when we come up, I'm going to do a sideways first, right? So we did this last week where we pulled in, right? Use your muscles, feel them engaged, right? Lining up my head, my neck. So I'm not here. Here, I'm pulling up in front. So I plié and two, and up all my muscles, right? Now if I'm going to releve, I'll go 1 and 2, and I'll start to, as my knees start to straighten, I'm also lifting up my heels, using those muscles in my arches to come all the way up. And then as I go down, I'm going to start releasing my ankle and my foot, but I'm going to soften my knees so I can still plié over the balls of my feet, right? Up. So I'm softening the knees and then placing my heels down. This is how later when we turn out, we'll be able to put our heels forward. So we're not rocking back. I'm not doing that. I'm staying right here. And you can release the bar or the counter. Down and up, right? So I'm not rocking back and forth. Now, when we go eleve, We're going to just engage our muscles. We're going to pull our core in, shoulders down, gently holding the countertop, your bar. And I'm going to make sure my weight's over the ball of the foot, and I'm going to just rise up. And as I come down, I keep my weight here straight. That's an eleve. Up. If you can let go, great. As I come down, I'm keeping my weight here, so I have to really control this part of my foot and ankle down. Use your glutes, okay? I don't know that you need to see it front, but when we have one arm, we put our hands on our hips, we come up, right? That knee softening is easier to see from the side. Okay, so that's the first part. So there's releve and eleve. I want you to practice that. You should have practiced it with me. But if you didn't, you can do it still. That's a great thing, right? You can still do it. So I would say at least 10 of those at a time, right? Trying to hit some balances, maybe, you know, start playing with being able to hold it. And that has, you know, you have to use your muscles. So the other thing I want to quickly touch on, because I'm going to touch on this more in my next video when we talk about tendu. That's really exciting because that feels like more of a step. Anyway, I'm going to put you down on the ground and I'm going to talk about foot shape for a moment. So come here. Okay. And again, I don't remember if I cleaned my floors. So now you're looking at them. All right, so foot shape, right? When we come up on our demi points, we don't want to be out on the toes at all. And I know I talked about this flat when we were talking about weight shifting, but watch when I do my releve and eleve, okay? Shaping the foot means we shape it so it's not sickling. We call it a sickle when it goes to the pinky. And you don't want that because it's a very weak position on demi point and point. So here we go. So I want you to be a little bit closer. So when we come up, right, I'm in parallel. I don't have necessarily I mean, you can put them together, right? But, you know, you want to be able to rise up and it shifts a little bit. So we go plié. I keep my inner thighs engaged. I come up using all of these hamstring glutes. I use my calves. When I come up, my weight is over my big toe. I'm not here, right? I'm here. And sometimes I like to be a little bit apart when I'm practicing this so I can play with that and say, oh, what does that feel like? That's not good. When I pull them in a little bit, right, I'm really using the inside of the arches, which we need those muscles for balancing and also later pushing off. As I soften the knees and come down, I'm keeping my weight there, see? I'm not going out here. I'm keeping it here, right? My stability comes from the inside of my body, the inside of my legs, lining up. Same thing we'll talk about when we do tendu, that we point. We're not here, we're here. So see, it's the exact same foot shape. We're just traveling from flat, coming up, and then if we were going to point, we would come up to there. All right? So, I'm back. So, I think my coffee pot's ready. So I think I need to end my video now. And it was a lot of great stuff we talked about. And remember, whenever you're practicing this, waiting for, like I did, I'm totally waiting for my coffee pot to warm up. I think it warmed up a while ago, but I got so into talking to you about this, so it was really fun. Anyway, practice your releve, practice your eleve. If you have questions, please send me a message. And I'm also posting on YouTube, so please come find me there and subscribe. That might be easier than Instagram. And I love it. So look for my next video, and please check out my website. I have set up for some master classes in November, and I'd love for you all to come because it would be great to work together, get a little extra work in on a Sunday. All right, check it out on my website. Talk to you soon. Bye.